indivisible. Okay, our first action item is to approve this evening's agenda. May I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented? So. Second. Roll call, please.
Member Inkstrom.
Aye.
Member Junior.
Aye.
Member Sundin.
Aye.
Member Miss Peterson. Aye. Member Mr. Peterson.
Aye.
Member Ryan.
Aye. Next, we have approval of draft minutes from the regular scheduled board meeting of August 11th, 2025. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of August 11th, 2025? So moved. Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. 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 All opposed, same sign. Next, we have the approval of the draft minutes from the Finance Committee meeting of August 19, 2025. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of August 19, 2025? So moved.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, now we're here for whatever else came for is the presentations, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Gibb.
All right, thank you, President Riders.
Thank you.
So this is really exciting. We have a few recognitions today. We have student recognitions as well as staff recognitions. The first one is for our students. And when we do that, I'm actually going to ask if we're going to clear this area out. And if I could have Dr. Salamone come up. Our first awards are going to students who have passed the access exam. And this is a really big deal because not only does access measure student proficiency in literacy, but it measures their growth in literacy. So oftentimes in education, sometimes we get awards for perfect scores on this or straight A's on this. These are students who worked really, really hard and it paid off. And it's a result of their hard work. It's a result of excellent teaching and learning in the district. So what I'd ask is if Dr. Salamone, if you could talk a little bit about the access test and what it assesses for students. And then what we'll do is we'll have the students, we'll read your name. We have a nice certificate for you. And then we'll ask that the students kind of come this way and they're going to shake my hand. They're going to shake President Rogers' hand as well. And then we're going to kind of line up and then we're going to get a picture. And then you can go back to your families, but we're gonna get a photo too. So can you speak a little bit to the access test?
Sure. So the access test is a state test that students who come in speaking another language, so their native language at home is not English, and it really does assess over time their the rate at which they're obtaining English, so that they are truly becoming bilingual. And so the areas that it looks at is reading, speaking, writing, and reading. Writing is a very difficult area. We do see that the students, writing even for any student is one of those harder areas. So they have to obtain a score of 4.8 or higher. And so in each of those subtests kind of feeds into that. And so when you hit the 4.8, you do get to, the state has said that your English is proficient, just like your peers. And so you no longer have to be take that state test. We do monitor for a couple of years after exiting, but that is what that state test assesses. And the growth that we see is great. And in fact, we do actually have all of our ML teachers here tonight. And I do also just want to highlight that this year from the spring scores, this is starting my fourth year in the district, and looking back at the past data, we had 16 students exit, which is really high, and we haven't had that many students. The highest we had was 14 since I've been here, and so that just goes to the great instruction that our ML teachers and services provide. Right. So thank you as well. So they're a great team.
All right. Well, why don't you come over here,
Sure.
and then we'll kind of funnel them through.
Sounds very good. So when you hear your name, come on up. And looking at your certificate. And then, all right. Jordan Lee. Oh, because Steve Jordan. I will pre-apologize if I mispronounce the name. Awa Riaz. Now, I do say some of these students may have also graduated into high school as well. Skylar Toma. No, we have some. Towards the bottom here. Mateo Seja. That, no,
This picture.
Yep. Emma Saigon. Alright, we'll get you guys. Irene Gutierrez.
Congratulations, good job.
Okay.
Georgia Jarnoa. I was Georgia here. Mirieli Mendoza. Kushal Patel. Melania Fushkar. Norway Saida. Miriam Ramson. Run Sang. Rune Sang, sorry. Nope. And then Benjamin.
Well, let's give one more round of applause. We get the ML teachers to come up as well with a picture. And then, no, that's a picture. We gotta come on the other side.
Alright, you guys have to get them down here.
Students in the center, coming right down over here, just go over. Here you go. And then parents, feel free to step up and get a picture as well. So we're all gonna try to come in. Oh, and then show your certificates. There you go, there you go. Then mirror and smile. Alright, on the count of three. One. One more. One.
Alright, 1, 2, 3.
Awesome.
Alright.
So our next set of awards is for our newly tenured faculty, which is really exciting. For that, I'd like Mrs. Smith, I saw her. Yep, you can come up. And because every tenured teacher this year is from Evergreen.
Hey.
What would you like me to do?
We're gonna do the same thing. And then we're gonna come up and then we're gonna take a picture. And then we have a little gift for the new tenured. Oh, sure.
Angelica Asensio.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
I'm prepared, we're good. So, Angelica is one of our self-contained teachers at her. Megan Pacheco. Megan teaches kindergarten. Suzanne Trott. Suzanne is one of our special education teachers at Evergreen. Taylor Schweischer. Second grade. Elena Jada. Music. Karen Cruz Salazar, also known as Michelle Hines. Dina Greco. She's a reading specialist. Kristen Higgins. She is one of our third grade teachers. Jana Oliver. I don't think I see her. She is one of our social workers at Evergreen. Renee Orr, our art teacher at Evergreen. Judy Seaman. He is fourth grade.
Okay, so now we gotta pretend, you know, that we're not cramped, so just smile and get in. Yeah. And let's see, we'll then take your direction. Are we in enough?
Or an angle, like you
Maybe
were
angle?
about to, and it looks really straight. Sorry. Alright, I just love how much power I have. Awesome. All right, oh, we just barely made it. 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Right. And you can't go anywhere, so Mrs. Smith, you stay up here, and Dr. Fitzgerald, so our final awards for today are our new faculty. And so we have them from both schools, and I didn't tell you ahead of time, so I apologize. But this comes with a little bit of public speaking. So when you come up here, if you can share with the board where you're coming from and what you currently are teaching here or doing here at Benjamin District 25, and then where you're coming from, whether that's, you know, college or another district or what have you, just do like a little brief thing for that. And so I will have Dr. Fitzgerald and Mrs. Smith introduce their own teachers. So this is the list, whatever order you prefer. And then you're gonna come up, we're gonna do another picture too, so you kind of got everything.
To start off at Evergreen, we have Dana Baumgartner. She is one of our self-contained special education.
There's no certificate, it's just the job. But I'm gonna put you on the spot, so where are you coming from?
East Aurora, District 131, and before that I came from the DuPage Correctional Facility, and before that, UIC. So,
You weren't, right?
Next we have Caroline Ford, she's teaching first grade.
So tell us a little bit.
From here, went to Evergreen and Benjamin, graduated from West Chicago, and then went off to University of Missouri, graduated with my bachelor's and taught there for a few years, second grade, and now first grade here. Really excited.
Oh, back home.
Yes, very excited.
So little story, I saw you and your mom,
Mhm.
right? Taking a picture together right outside of Evergreen, because your mom also teaches.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Very
Very
good. Welcome.
Thank you.
And then Haley Baldwin, but I don't know how is here today. So congratulations to her.
So we have Chrissy Campbell. Yeah. No drill.
I originally taught out in Arizona, and then my husband and I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. I taught in Fulton County Schools as a special ed teacher there, and then instructional coach, coaching special ed teachers, and instructional coach for the 3rd through 5th grade team at my school. Took a few years off to raise my 2 children, and now I'm back teaching again in the self-contained classroom at Benjamin, and my husband went to Evergreen at Benjamin growing up. So.
Well, there.
Not sure the other two are here, they're hiding. Kelly Claude is our, Kelly Claude here. No. Okay, she's teaching our English language arts in 8th grade and social studies in 6th grade. She is also homegrown, went to Evergreen and Benjamin. She's doing subbing in our district. And then we're like, we gotta get her, and we interviewed for the job and she got it. It's been great. And then I have Marissa Choate. Who we hired for the art position. Went to a little school called the Art Institute of Chicago, and then been working in charter schools. And now she's coming over to teach here. Actually, it's done a fantastic job as well. It's wonderful.
Okay, so this is the time of the meeting where if you don't want to leave awkwardly, and this is the time. Or everyone is welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but you're also welcome to hang out and exit nicely at this point in time. You can choose. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it's great. Hear about that?
Those who stay are going to be immersed into the presentation.
Everyone wants to know about budget. And I think Tom get it up right. Or
That's not the story today.
As long as, yeah, it's only gonna have like 5 years, so sound like it's $11 million budget. Oopsie. All right, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard. I think is we have two teachers that went to this district, and now one that whose son went there. That's amazing. Such a small district. Now we're gonna be doing the FY26 budget. I'm sorry, this is the FY26 budget hearing, correct? Okay. May I have a motion to open the public hearing for the FY26 budget?
So moved.
Second. Roll call, please.
Member Ingstrom.
Aye.
Member Drinnen.
Aye.
Member Sundbeck.
Aye.
Member Miss Peterson.
Aye.
Member Mr. Peterson.
Aye.
Member Valencia.
Aye.
Member Ryan.
Aye. All right, we're gonna hand it over to Dr. Phyllis, who will present the official FY26 budget.
Thank you, President Rogers.
This presentation again is for the 25-26 final budget. If board members, you can see on your computer. If not, you can turn to see the screen. In case it's failed to load. Failed to load. Yes. Well, if you turn around, it is.
Try to
loading.
refresh it.
Refresh it back.
Done, revolt it,
Okay.
yeah.
So if you remember back from our tentative budget hearing, we do have a couple statutory items we have to take care of. First one, Public Act 1030394 is to disclose our fund balances. What we're really looking at here is our current ratio. And the number that we are looking at, if that gets to 250%, SB will require us to submit a fund reduction plan. But as you can see, we're not near 250%. So this is just to give the public disclosure of where our current reserves are. Next, Public Act 1020895, we must also submit all or present all of our fund balances for the year. And this is for the period ending June 30th, 2025. See our fund balances June 1st, fund balances ending June 30th. Also, fund balance year in review. This is our year-to-date financial profile summary as of June 30th. Again, look at the slide before. This takes it down just a little bit. It aligns to our financial profile score. And many of these columns will fluctuate throughout the year, depending on when our property tax revenues come in. So as a board, we really just want to key in on that last metric, which is days cash on hand, because that gives us an idea of where we currently are in relation to how we are spending throughout the year, and that is a more solid. Okay. So now for the FY26 final budget. For this presentation, I want to key in on just differences from the tentative to now. Our revenue summary. You'll notice in FY25 received $25 million in revenue. This year, we're only projecting 16 million in revenue. That is directly related to the bond issue. I received bond issue this year. It's reasons it was a 52% reduction. Expenditures, zooming in on your screen, you'll notice these are broken down by object: salaries, employee benefits, purchase services, supplies, materials, get quality, as well as other objects. Other objects is tuition. Essentially, that's the only other object that we spend that. So you'll notice the difference in column FY25 shows us the change. The variances of negative expenditures, again, are related directly to our capital outlay. So we're no longer spending that money on improvements. So while our revenues are down, our expenditures are also down. So the FY26 budget summary, the top graph shows what the tentative budget was presented in August, and the bottom graph chart shows what the FY26 final budget is, and differences from tentative. So keying in on the education fund, the main difference from the tentative to final is we did not have a self-contained preschool this year. From last year, we had budgeted in the tentative for that position. Because that didn't exist, we no longer had that self-expenditure. Otherwise, the differences in tentative to final also lie in the estimated beginning fund balance. You may notice earlier in the presentation, we listed a starting fund balance June 30th here, 6.4. We actually, using this chart, now have our audited fund balances. So for instance, we were holding back a O&M transfer into capital until we knew, but that happened now, so we have to reflect that. So that's the differences and variances. If any questions so far on our FY 26 final budget? The next step after this was, once we approve it, will go to the county, it will go to the ROE. Is being to their requirements.
Thank you, Dr. Felix. Any questions from the board? Do we have any public comment from anybody in the audience? All right, having seeing none, may I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing and return to open session?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Member Ingstrom.
Aye.
Member Brennan.
Aye.
Member Sundback.
Aye.
Member Miss Peterson.
Aye.
Member Mr. Peterson.
Aye.
Member Valencia.
Aye.
Member Mathers.
Aye. All right, we're on to administrative reports, and I would hand over to Dr. Fitzgerald for teaching and learning report.
Thank you. Really quick, we have been spending a lot of time working with the resources that we've adopted that have been coming in both electronically and physically, and working with the teaching staff with Mrs. Smith to make sure that we have all of the resources that we're supposed to have. The missing, tabletop lesson here, vocab cards here, making sure that the electronic resources are working with the new class link. And so spent a lot of time just kind of troubleshooting with her help, Greg's help, and Christopher and Miss Anthony's help. Just trying to make sure everything is going as smoothly as possible and we have those resources for the teachers. Also looking at the possibility of securing a social studies resource through K through 4. Those teachers in the room right now, it's gonna be the first that they're hearing. They didn't even think about that. It's gonna be an email. It's gonna come out. But this is something that Evergreen teachers have requested in my different meetings with grade levels. The issue that we have is through our, it's not issue, but just time-wise, it is, we spend a year where we adopt and go through the whole process of meeting with different companies for different resources. We do a pilot, and then the next year we implement. So this year we're implementing science. Next year we're going to be going through the process for math. So, and we kind of made science jump ahead of math because everybody was happy with their math and we knew that we needed that resource in science. So this is kind of following that same logic. Is if we waited for the regular cycle to go through, we'd be waiting 4 or 5 years to get a social studies resource in their hands, which I didn't think was acceptable. So thinking outside the box, TCI is social studies curriculum that we use at Benjamin that we're very familiar with, that we're very happy with, and has excellent customer service. It is tied to state standards. It's very engaging. It came from a program a long time ago out of California called History Alive, that I may have used as a social studies teacher way back in the day. But it was engaging lessons, activities, different things that they're hands-on doing. And so what this will do is we'll be able to get them electronic resources that are tied to state standards. It'll provide the consistency in grade levels that we would need. And at the minimum, I put in there about the ready to teach slideshows. That's just a very basic of what they can do. And it's very good about just kind of presenting it out. So they can use that to present those lessons already done, the prep work's done, and do different activities. Ms. Campbell, that you saw here earlier today, our special education teacher, I've already got kind of an early sneak peek for her. So she started to use TCI social studies in her class, talking about community and different things with her students. And so I just see this as a way. So basically I'm going to send something out to the teachers saying this is a resource ready-made for you, and the instructional coaches and myself will help. We're going to have a PD session on October 8th. We secured that today with Mrs. Smith and TCI. And then we'll be ready to roll after that, giving support as needed. But there could be so much more that they can do with this resource. So we will pilot it through December. And then as long as everybody is on the same page, we will go ahead and make a 1-year purchase at first because of the final budget that's in place, almost final budget. Wasn't that familiar either. So we will have a 1 year, and then if everybody is in agreement that this is a good solution, we'll next year when we can budget more appropriately, due to my fault, we will do a longer contract with them. And then we can talk about print things as well, but it runs very smoothly online, and also that's how we adopted it at Benjamin. It's completely online with just 5 hard copy books in each classroom in case the internet go down. So that's that. Professional development, working with Dr. McGill and Mrs. Smith on a learning walk schedule for the school year. That's basically going to be an opportunity for Dr. McGill, myself, and Mrs. Smith to walk around into the classrooms for about 10-15 minutes. And there's also an email. Go to board meetings, you get to find stuff out every week. Next meeting already written and ready to send as soon as I have the schedule established. So it's going to be a chance for us to get into the classrooms. It's important to note that these are non-evaluative observations. They're there to, as I mentioned, there get data, instructional practices, see student engagement, whatever it is that we decide that we're looking for in that particular visit. But mostly it's to support teachers. And these visits are not going to be a surprise. They will be notified in advance, and we'll probably knock it out by grade level. So we'll do, 3 third grade 15-minute observations, and try to focus on ELA and math at the elementary building, and focus on whatever the primary subject is that they teach at the middle school. And we should be able to get into each of the classrooms about 2 times throughout the year. And then we have a regular evaluative on-cycle teacher evaluations that we will do as principals. And then mentoring, we'll have a mentoring meeting on September 24th. We're going to be talking about the evaluation process, because even though a lot of the teachers that we hired are experienced teachers, how we do the evaluation in our district, we want to make sure that they're on the same page. Also, just want to make a little note that Mrs. Choate, my art teacher, also went to West Chicago High School with Kelly Claude. We didn't know that until they were at the first day of the teacher training. I don't think she went to Benjamin, I think she went to West Chicago. And then we're going to review a chapter of a book study on building community. So also doing some other things like summer curriculum work. Mrs. Smith and I have met, and the e-learning committee, emergency day committee that we are exploring and working with Dr. McGill on to forming a committee to see what we'll do during the winter time.
Thank you. Next we're on to business operations section.
First component of this is the operations report that was submitted by Tim. I did want to highlight one of the projects that he completed at the end of the summer before the school year started. And there's a retaining wall down at the end of the stairs by a small gym. And April, May, we started noticing the brickwork starting to sag, and that was directly related to some drainage issues. So Tim brought out a couple companies, isolated the problem, with the drainage done. We're able to reuse the brick, do that, so we saved a lot. I don't know if Tim does it, he sure does get a much better price after the initial quote comes in. He's like, get out of here. Oh, that's much better. So he does a good job. So that was one thing I wanted to highlight about the something we didn't really brag about in the summer was that project. Very, very needed. Any questions on Tim's report? And then Greg had a lot of content in his report. I didn't want to commend him and his team for the first days of Institute. They put out and trained the trainers on good thank yous to all the staff. A lot of new tricks that these thank yous can do. One of the things that I was most impressed with was the wireless integration now of thank yous. where before you have a document camera connected by one HDMI. Now a teacher can hold their your desk back a little bit, each for the projection is almost seamless. I was very impressed with that. I want to commend some of the teams here. In new document cameras, that came in again, the wireless, I just wanted to highlight again that we, 3 of the private schools that we talked about earlier in the spring received them. They were just amazed and happy to they express just sincere gratitude. So, with 3 schools now with classrooms that are able to use this technology that they did. So, any other questions on Greg's report? My report, very boring this month, I'm sorry. But the one thing I did want to highlight was the new reporting rules that has to do with our annual statement of affairs. ISBO, which is the Business Managers Organization, as well as the Superintendent's Organization, have really lobbied the legislature to remove the requirement that is in the newspaper. So we not only are posting this on our website, it's not only posted on ISB, we're also required to take out essentially a full page ad paper. So the financial burden that was presenting when all these other resources are being used was something we really asked. That was one of the only changes we didn't get at ASA. So we'll continue to take that ad out on paper. Any questions on the business report? Includes my reports.
You have a potential.
I do. So, those of you who've spent any time with me lately, you can probably guess what mine is, what the topic mine's gonna be on. Our strategic planning. So this is it. This is the week. So Wednesday, we are going to formally launch our strategic plan process to both faculty and staff and to the community. We've obviously, people kind of know this has happened. It's been approved by the board, but this is gonna be like our big push, our big launch. So, the community can expect to have a letter coming from myself, as well as social media postings, a new webpage on our website that is going to kind of be the storage for all things strategic planning. So if anyone wants to know what we're doing, what meetings we've had, the presentations, the agendas, the whole slide deck, any articles we've read, they will all be on our webpage on Wednesday. There's not much there now because we haven't had the big meetings yet. But there will be a timeline there. There will be my introductory letter, an introductory video. It took way too many takes to do. But those will all be there. And to really make sure we're keeping the community and anyone who maybe cannot be on the strategic planning committee, but wants to stay intimately involved, they'll be able to keep up every single step of the way. So when that letter goes out to families, we are going to be looking for 12 parents or community members to participate on the strategic planning team. So there's a Google form there that they can go in and sign up. We'll be making the determination of who is on that strategic planning team. Basically, we want to have a kind of a diverse representation of grade levels and, you know, new parent to the district, parent that's been in the district for a long time. We want to try to get a good mixture of parents and community members. And then we're gonna do the same thing with faculty. So we have 12 faculty members that we're gonna be, faculty and or staff members that we're gonna be recruiting to be a part of the team. They'll see it on the form, but the only requirement is that they can actually make every single meeting. We want people to come in for like a part of the meeting and not go into another one. So we ask, like, you know, if you can block out, we have all the dates and times, if you can block these things out, then put your hat in the ring. But if for some reason there's way too much interest and we can't accommodate everyone that wants to be on the strategic planning team, like I said, it's going to be totally transparent. Not only that though, but there's 3 big meetings. There's a data retreat. Let me get the names wrong. There's a vision retreat, and then there's a retreat to talk about how are we going to get from where we are to where we want to be. After each one of those, there's going to be different work products. The first one's a SWOT analysis, and then maybe a revised mission vision, profile of educator graduate. After every single one of these big meetings, we're going to send a feedback survey out to faculty and staff and to the community to get feedback on that work product. And that's going to inform the work going into the next meeting. So I'm saying all these things so that people understand, even if you're not at these sessions, you will still have a chance to have your voice heard. And we're going to be taking all that very, very seriously. So this is an exciting time. It's really something that the board should be proud of, because this is what districts do to cement what makes them great, but also dream about where they can be in the future. And so hopefully at the end of this, the strategic plan is going to be reflective of everyone, the entire community, faculty, staff, parents, students. I had mentioned this. For those of you who haven't heard this before, we're going to have students on this strategic planning committee as well. We have 8th graders as well as some juniors and or seniors from WeGo that went to Benjamin being part of the committee as well. So it's going to be great. Board members are all invited to all the meetings that you can attend. You know, I know different schedules, but some of you have already reached out. If you haven't yet, please reach out and we'll make sure we put you in, because we're going to be doing groups at some of these meetings. But this is a really important thing. It's an exciting time in our history to be able to pause for a minute as a district, take stock of all the great things that we do, dream a little bit, and then have a plan on how to get there. And at the end of this, we should really have that roadmap. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't change from year to year, but it really will give us some guiding directions on some very important critical things that we're gonna be able to go. So more on that on Wednesday. Hopefully you see several different communications highlighting those things. I have a couple other things in my report. The ribbon cutting was great. There's a link in there. People go, those are open links to a photo of the event and also a video. They're also posted on social media. Now I feel like I put this in there a long time ago. Now I feel like ribbon cutting is old news. But there's one thing that I'm going to start adding to my superintendent reports for the public every time we meet, and that is highlighting some GPS Parent Series events. This is a resource that is available to all families in DuPage County, and it's really great. There's a collection of districts and sponsors that really work together to make this program possible. And essentially, there's a person, Gilda Ross, who has been spearheading this 20 years now, and it just keeps getting better and better every year. And we're able to get better and better speakers and authors to come and talk. So I just want to highlight a few of those, and I won't give the whole backstory in the future, but I just want to kind of give the backstory. I think it's important for our communities to know that this is a free resource to them that they have at their disposal. Most of these are via Zoom, but some of them are in person, so you kind of got to look. But if you look on the website, they'll give you more specifics. But these are the ones just in this next month. So on September 25th, there is a talk on engaged, competent, and sober, raising addicted, resistant kids in a culture of dependence. On September 30th, explosive child, understanding frustrated and inflexible children. You might see me there. October 2nd, early childhood programs in Spanish, smart and healthy discipline for young children. October 7th, the craving mind, break the cycle of worry and bad habits. October 15th, what we get wrong, motivating and communicating with young people. That's be really great for some of our coaches. In early childhood, raising a spirited, intense, sensitive, persistent, and energetic child. So really great resources for our families and communities, and as many as I can go to, I attend, because it's just, you always learn something. So want to highlight that, and that concludes my superintendent report. Where's the stuff? Most of those are on Zoom, but some of them will be in person, and if they are in person, they're always somewhere in DuPage County. So sometimes they'll have them at a school district, sometimes they'll have them at a library, but they're all local. So
Dr. Badil, can I add to that? I believe that they're all videos, they're all recorded, and you can watch them after the fact too.
That's also
So,
true.
yeah.
They have a YouTube channel.
Yeah. It's a fantastic resource. I've watched a few, so highly recommend. Yeah.
Dr. what is the acronym GPS stand
They used to be called Glenbard Parent Series, because that's where it originated from, because Gilda Ross was a Glenbard counselor that retired and then just really championed this. But it's not really Glenbard anymore. It's all DuPage County.
Okay.
So they dropped the Glenbard Parent Series name and just turned it into GPS Parent Series. It's really a DuPage focused thing. And there are districts and sponsors all across DuPage County that commit funds to bring all the speakers in to make these things happen. Yeah, so they kind of broadened it from there, but that's kind of where it originated.
They are on social media too, and she puts like reminders in there of what's coming up for the week, so.
All right, thank you. Next we have public comment on agenda items. Does anybody have a public comment on agenda items? Having none, we are gonna move on to consent agenda. The first item is, does any board member wish to remove any item from the consent agenda for separate consideration? If none, we will move on to the consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Member Engstrom,
Aye.
member Driven.
Aye.
Member Smithner,
Aye.
member Miss Peterson,
Aye.
member Mr. Peterson,
Aye.
member Valencia.
Aye.
Member Rogers.
Aye. Okay, on action items, the first is the approval of the board agreements. That should all be attached for everybody. Does anybody have any, I guess, first, can I have a motion to approve the board agreements as presented?
So moved.
Second. Is there any discussion on the board agreements?
I'd just like to point out that this is really an important thing for the community to know that the board has done to establish these agreements on not, policy is one thing, this isn't policy. This is how do we govern well? What are the things that we want to commit to as board members so that we have good governance? And that's a sign of a strong school board. So I just want to, I know it's been a lot of work. We've looked at these maybe 3 or 4 times, but I just want to commend the board for the hard work that has gone into making these real.
Commend you for leading. Roll call, please.
Member Engstrom,
Aye.
member Driven,
Aye.
member Smithner,
Aye.
member Miss Peterson,
Aye.
member Mr. Peterson.
Aye.
Member Valencia.
Aye.
Member Rogers.
Next, we have approval of tenure. I'll recognize already the tenure teacher, but may I have a motion to approve the faculty tenure as presented?
So.
Second.
Discussion on that. Roll call, please.
Member Engstrom,
Aye.
member Driven,
Aye.
member Smithner,
Aye.
member Miss Peterson,
Aye.
member Mr. Peterson,
Aye.
member Valencia.
Aye.
Member Rogers.
Aye. Right, congratulations again. Last, we have the approval of the FY 26 budget. May I have a motion to approve the FY 26 budget as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on that one? Roll call, please.
Member Engstrom,
Aye.
member Driven,
Aye.
member Smithner,
Aye.
member Miss Peterson,
Aye.
member Mr. Peterson,
Aye.
member Valencia.
Aye.
Member Rogers.
Aye. I might have smelled something. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Next we have public comment on non-agenda items. Has anybody submitted anything? Having none, we will move on to discussion. So we have 3 items on the agenda for discussion, and first we will turn over to Dr. McGill.
Sure. So President Rogers and Mr. Suttonbeck and I met just before this meeting to go over our first reading of press issue 119. I'll say most of the updates are just slight language changes from the laws. I think changing webmaster to website administrator is one of them, and little things like that. There was one significant one where for some reason just maybe it hadn't been updated in a while. There was a old mission and vision statement that we couldn't really track where it came from. So what we're going to be reevaluating ours anyways, but in the interim, we did talk about just updating that to make sure that's current. And then if we have to update it again, we can do that. But I did it, Mr. Suttonbach or President Rogers, did you have any other comments you'd like to make?
No. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
A lot of words.
Yeah. So this will come to the board again at the next meeting for second reading and approval. So if there's any questions in the interim, just let us know.
All right. Thank you. And the next I had Dr. Silverman.
The threat assessment. So we did our annual threat assessment meeting. We do have our established teams at each of the buildings. And then we went through the process and procedure for that. It is the one that's been in place, same one that's recommended. So we just kind of met over Zoom and did that. As we were talking about that process, we realized that didn't necessarily have a standardized tool that we were using at the elementary school. The one that is used at the middle school is not more for students. So do have a meeting next week where we're gonna everyone is finding examples and we're gonna meet again through Zoom and we'll have one in place for elementary school. And We have, Greg is working on, we had so it's Safe Schools, a lot of districts have it on their websites. The link, so anyone can report, a concern, whether it's a community member or someone who's not in the building and couldn't physically talk to like an administrator or something, so. Greg's like, I don't know where it went, we had it, we've been paying for their subscription, so he's just working with the company. Every link, so like. Every district has like their own identifiable links, is that like we can just use the link that we have to make sure it's the one that's linked up so that we're. So, so that was all done, so we're just doing this follow up.
Last, we have communication to and from the board. We have board policy 2140. Just discusses basically that if the board receives any regular or any communication from a community member, we'll attach it on the agenda along with the board, the district's response. So it's kind of treated just like a FOIA request, just from an effort of full transparency about the communications we receive. Yeah. There's been no communications. So yeah, we've started implementing that practice, I would say, a couple months ago. So. All right, that is it on our agenda. We are going to be moving on to executive session. So may I have a motion to enter an executive session for the purpose of appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, for dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in an educational setting for exemption 1 under Illinois Open Meeting Act, ILCS 120-2/C. CC.
Question, will there be any action after this?
It's a great question, Mr. Sunback. We will not have any action after
Thank
the
you.
session.
Thank you.
So,
Second.
Roll call, please.
Member Engstrom.
Aye.
Member Drinnen.
Aye.
Member Sunback.
Aye.
Member Miss Peterson.
aye.
Member Mr. Peterson.
Aye.
Member Swanson.
Aye.
Member Rogers.
Aye. All right, thank you, everybody. Appreciate you coming. If you'd like to stick around afterwards, the board is going to be entering executive session in the superintendent's office. But like we said, there'll be no action taken after this. Oh. May I have a motion to adjourn the Benjamin 25 Board of Education meeting at 8:28? So moved.
Second.
All opposed, say aye, or all in favor, say aye. I'm staring at it. All opposed, same sign. Every time. All right, we're done.
That's
it. That's it. Meeting's adjourned.